What's up, y'all? K-Brazier here, back with another video, bro. Hey, come on. Today, y'all know we some hood philosophers, so we finna answer some crazy questions that y'all wouldn't even know.
I left my glasses at home today.
You did? It's cool, gang.
It's all good. I'm gonna be locked in.
You still gonna know. First, we thinking about what, paradox?
Well, philosophy questions, and then maybe. Well, actually, yeah, let's do paradox.
All right. So we did look up paradox, but we haven't seen it yet. We said we're gonna start the video so we can know we know what it is, but we're trying to get a better understanding right now. Yeah. A seemingly absurd of self-contradictory.
Take me in. A seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition that, when investigated or explained, may be proven to be founded or true. Okay.
What that mean?
It's a logically self-contradictory statement, or like a statement that runs contrary to someone's expectation.
Alright, but like, hold on,
bro. It's a statement wait.
I got it.
Example. Okay. I don't know how the fuck would you
a statement or situation that can, bruh, contradict itself, but upon close examination, it reveals a hidden truth or a deeper Okay. We understand that now.
Yeah, so
come on. That's all we need to know.
Let's get into a paradox video. Well, look it up, paradox. Yeah. Paradoxes. Para, not pora. That was the keyboard.
Yeah.
Paradoxes. No. Paradox is a question. Paradox is a question.
Oh.
Paradoxes. Put the EX up there. The ES up there.
Hold on. All right, there we go.
Yeah. It did up.
Yeah, I am.
Right there.
It's on here?
Well.
No.
Right there.
This one here. Oh my gosh. This is it, guys.
Everyone said I'd have to pay extra to earn IT certifications. Everyone except WGU.
Watch how we learn these
masters.
The human brain is one of the smartest on the planet. But there are some things we just can't wrap our minds around. One of those is the paradox. We've evolved to think of reality in a specific way. But there are paradoxes out there that suggest reality doesn't work the way we think it does. And now, some physicists think they've solved a 50-year-old paradox. But have they? And what are the other strangest paradoxes? Get ready to find out. A lot of you are probably familiar with the Fermi paradox. Named after Italian physicist Enrico Fermi, who is famous for creating the first nuclear reactor, this paradox seeks to answer the question, where are the aliens? Given that our star and Earth are part of a fairly young planetary system compared to the rest of the universe, and that it's possible for a civilization to achieve interstellar travel during this time, it seems we should have been visited by some form of extraterrestrial intelligence by now. Now, some say it's not a real paradox, because we can only guess that there is intelligent life out there. But the Drake equation is used in this so-called paradox to estimate the number of possible civilizations in our galaxy. The Drake equation uses 7 variables to estimate the number of detectable civilizations in...
The Drake equation, I just thought about it. Drake actually paid these people to, be a part of this. I just thought about it. I remember that from his tour.
I just remember what they talking about. They basically trying to see if aliens real, right? I really think aliens is real, just not in different galaxies. You know how many different galaxies it is in the universe? We don't even know.
You want to know something I've been thinking about? How the hell do we know how many galaxies there are if we can't go to?
That's also a good question.
We can't even go past our.
I have our galaxy.
How do we know?
So they talking about it's millions and billions of galaxies. But if it is millions and billions of galaxies, it's definitely some living life form out there.
Definitely.
Don't mean they look like this right here.
When you think about it.
But you know what I'm saying?
When you think about it though, if we one galaxy out of billions, just think about how small we are as people on Earth.
Exactly.
We are tiny. We are literal space.
You telling me we the only ones that can live and breathe?
Thanks.
Man, come on now.
The Milky Way. This gave us an idea that there could be millions of Earth-like worlds with civilizations out there. But this was back in 1961. and no one knew of any worlds orbiting stars other than our own. It was only recently that we got a good idea. In 2020, astronomers using data from the Kepler Space Telescope found there are more than 300 million worlds with similar conditions to Earth scattered throughout the Milky Way.
What?
300 million?
300 million? And you telling me it's just one of me? I'm him, nigga. What? 300 million replicas of the world and it's just one of K Brazils, my nigga. You don't understand that, bro. I don't think you realize where they coming from.
Not 300 million different planets. I mean, different
planets
people.
that's like Earth, though. Not even just planets. It's way more than 300 million planets. It's just 300 million planets that's kind of like Earth.
Bro, it's crazy shit, bro.
The analysis concluded that roughly half of the galaxy's sun-like stars host rocky planets in habitable zones where liquid water could be on the surface. In fact, planets are extremely common and outnumber all the stars in our galaxy. And very soon, the James Webb Space Telescope will be headed into space to look for new potentially habitable worlds. We'll have a new video on that soon, so make sure to stay tuned here.
Yeah.
Now that we know how many worlds there are and how many possibilities that there could be advanced civilizations, the question remains, why is the universe silent? Maybe we're about to find out soon as technology advances, or perhaps we've all...
Hold on now. But listen, my nigga, you know how we talking to each other?
Right.
Niggas at the next house can't hear us. You feel what I'm talking to? You feel what I'm talking about, bro?
You speaking.
Niggas at the next house can't hear us. So that's why the universe is silent. The niggas at the next planet won't hear us, but we talking. Facts. You feel me?
Facts.
So that's an easy. That's an easy answer. I don't know why they still wondering about that. Really. I really don't know.
What? You smart, my nigga. Come on now, these folks sleep, man.
Already been visited by some faraway civilization and just don't know it yet. There have been many unexplained UFO sightings recently, and some believe extraterrestrials are already here. Solid proof of that would put an end to this paradox.
You feel like they keeping something in Area 51?
Yeah, this is 100%. Why do you think anybody that try to go near dies?
The bootstrap paradox is a paradox of time travel that questions how something that's taken from the future and placed in the past could ever come into existence in the first place.
That's a great point. You know what they're talking about?
No what?
So okay, so let's say you, right, from the future. Let's say I went into the future and brought your future self back here. How would you even exist? How would you be able to exist from the future if it hadn't happened yet?
Wait,
what I'm saying?
You talking though?
See what I'm saying?
That's why I also think time travel would never be a thing.
Facts. Time travel. I mean, if time travel was a thing, a lot of shit would be different.
Yeah.
And then it's different.
Common theme used by writers inspiring plot lines in many science fiction films, such as the Bill and Ted movies, Terminator, and Doctor Who. So let's look at one of the examples of this paradox. Imagine that you're a time traveler, but before you go on an excellent adventure, you go into a bookstore and buy a copy of Hamlet, written by Shakespeare. You then travel back in time to London during the Elizabethan era and give the book to Shakespeare. William S. then copies the book and claims it as his own work. Centuries go by, and during this time, Hamlet is printed and reproduced countless times until a copy of it...
Think about it though. If that was to happen, so much stuff would be different because people would, the author of the book would be different. Of like Hamlet, he had a big impact on life, right? So just think about it. If you was sitting in school and they was like, all right, this book here written by so and so, and then you go back in time and do that. Now they saying the book is written by a different person, but like you didn't even know about the first person that it was written by.
I ain't gonna lie, you fucking on my brain right now.
It's so much. It's levels to this shit, bro. I'm telling you, we gotta get through this video though.
It ends up in the same bookstore that you bought it from. The question then becomes, who wrote Hamlet?
See?
This is another famous paradox, which involves you going back in time to take out your grandfather. By that we mean erasing his existence. Now, we know everyone here loves their grandparents, but this is only an example. Once again, you're a time traveler, and you pop back in time to do the deed and erase your grandfather's existence. You then return to present time. But the thing is, with your grandfather gone...
You're gonna be a whole different person, or you're not gonna be alive.
How was you able to go back in time and kill your granddad if when you killed your granddad, they mean you was never existing?
Now, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
How you go back in time and do that if you never existed to do it in the first place? Because you went back in time and killed them. Mm-hmm. How? See, hey, but listen though. Listen.
Your father wasn't born, and you now realize you never even existed. Everything about you has now been erased, including all your family, friends, all your possessions, and your history. So you wouldn't have been born in the first place. So it would be impossible to do this. Now, some scientists believe that if this were to happen, you would have now created alternate timeline, or even entered...
Oh, I seen it on Flash.
Yes,
I seen it on Flash.
It's
I seen it on Flash. He was messing up the timelines because alternate timeline.
Yes, different Earth.
Bro. I seen it.
A parallel universe. By the way, for those who missed our video on parallel universes, check out the link in the description.
We're gonna look at that one day.
Another interesting variant to the grandfather paradox, going back in time to eliminate Hitler to stop World War II. This would have some interesting consequences. Let's say you have a shiny time machine, and you've got a plan to go back before things get out of control during the war and put things right. The problem now is that the action removes any reason to travel back in time, along with any knowledge that the reason to time travel back ever existed.
Facts. My God, it just messed me up. It's saying if you go back in time and do that, it's no point in you doing
that's
it.
What I'm saying.
There's no point in you doing it because you did it. What the fuck? What?
Time-traveling executioner simply creates a paradox. And, along with the many worlds idea, traveling back in time might create a new timeline without Der Fuhrer. But the old timeline would also still exist. You might even create a new timeline that's even worse. But what would happen if you sent something back through a wormhole? The late, great Joseph Polchinski is the famous theoretical physicist who wrote the book on string theory. But Polchinski also came up with a potentially paradoxical situation involving a billiard ball sent through a wormhole that travels back in time. In this scenario, the billiard ball is fired into a wormhole at such an angle, if it continues along the path, it will exit the wormhole in the past at the right angle to collide with its earlier self, thereby knocking it off course and preventing it from entering the wormhole in the first place. However, some physics students came up with solutions which avoid any inconsistencies by having the ball emerge from the future at a different angle than the one used to generate the paradox, and deliver its younger self a glancing blow instead of knocking it completely away from the wormhole. A blow which changes its trajectory in the...
If you shoot a shot and you shoot a little bit to the right, it can still go in. But that wormhole pretty big, you know what I'm saying?
It's all about perception.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's all about perception.
The right way, so that it will travel back in time with the angle required to deliver its younger self this glancing blow. Now here's something that will make you think about reality differently.
Okay, talk to me.
The observer's paradox is something very strange.
No, I forgot. Let me put on my
Indeed. And of all the bizarre facts of quantum theory, there are fewer stranger than Schrödinger's famous fable about a cat that's neither alive nor deceased. For the record, this is a thought experiment only, and no animals have ever been harmed. The paradox describes a cat that's locked inside of a windowless box, along with some radioactive material, a Geiger counter, a hammer, and a container of deadly poison. The radioactive material has a 50% chance to decay. If the Geiger counter records an emitted radioactive particle, it then triggers a hammer that smashes a vial of poison that will be fatal to the cat. However, you would not know if the cat was alive or deceased until you opened the box. And so until the box was opened, the cat would be both alive and deceased at the same time. How is this possible, you ask? This is because simply looking at matter actually changes the outcome of what happens to it. You can't know something is there unless you see it. Now, you're probably saying this whole thing is very strange, but consider another observer.
Hypnotize us?
I think so, bro. It's working though. It's working down.
This paradox called the double slit experiment. This is the most famous physics experiment of all time. Imagine
double slit. Yeah, slit.
A little bit too freaky for 7:48 p.m.
My bad.
Imagine a wall with two slits in it, and then throwing tennis balls at the wall. Some of them will bounce off the wall, but some of them will travel through the slits. If there is a wall behind the first one with slits, some of the tennis balls that made it through will hit it. Now, if you mark where the tennis balls hit the second wall, you should expect to see 2 strips of marks, roughly the same size as the slits. Sounds pretty straightforward. But in the double slit experiment, something awfully strange happens when you shine a light through the slits. Light isn't just a wave, it's also a particle called a photon. Now, if you shoot a single photon at the double slits, it forms an interference pattern on the back wall, as if it's interfering with itself. It's like the photon went through both slits at the same time. But this is where it gets stranger. Simply by looking at the double slit experiment, the behavior of the photons changes, as if the photons are alive and know you're watching them. We know this because
that's deep. Crazy. They just went into a tennis ball in a wall game.
They just went hella deep. I'm talking about like
penetrated it.
Balls deep. Like,
man, what?
That's crazy.
Because if the experimenter tries to find out which slit the photon is going through, the interference pattern doesn't show up at all. The bottom line is that observing a photon can change events that have already happened. How is that possible? No one's figured it out yet. Maybe you might be the one to solve this puzzle.
Maybe.
One of the biggest paradoxes in physics is the black hole information paradox, a puzzle that results from the combination of quantum mechanics and general relativity. Calculations show that physical information could permanently disappear into a black hole, allowing physical states to devolve into the same state. But this is controversial because quantum mechanics states that information can never be destroyed. Let's say you burned 2 different letters written on paper. Putting them back together from ash would be nearly impossible, but not entirely. The small differences in smoke temperature and the amount of ash would still retain information about the 2 different letters. The problem with black holes is they suck things up and then, over a very, very long time, radiate what they've swallowed back out in the form of Hawking radiation. Unfortunately, unlike the smoke, temperature, and ash from burning a...
Okay, buddy.
Nah, I'm saying like
7:50, buddy. PM.
My bad.
Unfortunately, unlike the smoke, temperature, and ash from burning a letter, Hawking radiation contains no information about what the black hole ate. This is because all Hawking radiation is the same, which implies that black holes destroy information about the universe.
Listen, bear with me, gang.
Okay.
Listen,
I'm here with
they
you.
talking about suck, spit, swallow, and hawk. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
You see how they called it the hawk on the elder?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I ain't even like trying to get into like the little horizontal activity, but you see how they put hawk in there like it's crazy.
But look though, on some random shit, I wouldn't even be mad if I got sucked into a black hole. You know why? Because how the fuck did I even get in this situation?
Why is you out there?
Like, what?
Why is you out there? Oh, let me go to the darkness of the space.
Like what? So I couldn't even be mad.
So do evaporating black holes really destroy information? Or does information escape as the black hole evaporates? A new generation of physicists say that information does indeed escape a black hole by their radiation.
Bro, what do you think physicists do all day? Like, you gotta think about what they do. They is real life
reading and watching videos like this.
That is crazy, bro. All day, every day.
It's kind of boring, if you ask me. But I mean, you make it. But imagine being rich off that.
Man,
rich off just basically saying, because they don't even know the answer to this, and he really got rich off this video. He don't even know the answers. You know what I'm saying? 9.3 million 3 years ago. Come on now.
Well, that's crazy.
And they've identified an invisible surface that lies inside a black hole's event horizon called the quantum extremal surface. This surface appears to encode the amount of information that's radiated away from the...
Let's name it the sun that shines bright.
Facts.
Like, how do you come up with names on this? Like, let's be real. Like,
black hole, evolving over the black hole's lifetime exactly as expected if information escapes. Apparently, something can escape a black hole. It's a problem not completely solved yet, and it's a work in progress. When we find out for sure, stay tuned here, and we'll...
Hey, they literally taught me some stuff.
I'm gonna go home tonight, and I'm gonna do push-ups, and I'm gonna exercise and just think about everything I learned today.
I understand that. That did teach us some stuff. I hope it taught y'all some stuff, and I hope we taught y'all some stuff too. Cause you know we a little bit more smarter than y'all.
They didn't really.
But
teach
we don't
us.
try to flex it.
Yeah, you know.
Cause you know we took these type of classes on purpose. Cause they ain't put us in regular classes.
Yeah. Hood for life.
Y'all ever seen 2 valedictorians that was men? Since us 2, if we being honest.
Look it up. We on the internet.
Yeah, so make sure y'all like and subscribe to this video, man. And we'll be back with another banger video. Appreciate y'all for supporting us for real.
Oh yeah. Got too tired of sitting when caught the crib in the head. Can't be worried about no female, I'm tryna run up a meal. Instead of counting all these Jacksons, I feel like my front ain't feel. I just got it with KB, said he Jacob back from Brazil. Just be cooking on these beef like Shetty up on the grill. It ain't too high, count up some money, you gotta have a little skill. I'm a nonchalant door, I really do with your chill.